I'm Penn Jillette, and you're watching the Boxing Games.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As you can tell from the length of this video, this is not your average Josh Horton YouTube video, but was really excited to post this because I got permission from the Moxie Games and SkillCon to post the entire 2018 broadcast, which aired on ESPN as ESPN 8 The Ocho, right here on my YouTube channel. In this video, you're gonna see Headis, the World Championships of Juggling, Venom's Trick Shots, Pool Trick Shot Tournament, Sepak Takraw, a Rock, Paper, Scissors Tournament, and Dodge Juggle, which is one of the craziest sports ever invented, and I do pretty well at it, so make sure you watch till the end. If you want to skip around, I'll put a table of contents in the top of the description, but I hope that you will sit back, relax, maybe put this video on your smart TV or whatever and watch the entire broadcast with your friends and family. First up is Headis, which is basically ping pong, but only using your head.
The Headis Las Vegas Classic semifinals will feature Bier Vampire, pronounced vampire in English, but only rhymes in German, so we'll stick to German, Sniper Schorsch, Hetty Potter, and Rolly the Butcher. These are not the athletes' legal names, however, these are the names they are best known for in the sport of Headis. Right now, we're getting started with the first semifinal matchup between Bier Vampire and Sniper Schorsch. There are only a few rules you need to be aware of. We are playing to 11 points, but you have to win by 2, and we're playing best 2 out of 3 sets to win the match. The serve must bounce on the server's side first, and if it hits the net or the opponent's side of the table first, the point goes to the opponent. Now, joining us for expert play-by-play commentary, all the way from Germany, is Thomas Mika and Felix Nauert.
Okay, thank you, Master Rochambola, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Thomas Mika.
And I'm Felix Nauert. Let's get right to the action.
So a slow start from both players, no risk at the beginning.
Oh, he hit it right into the camera. Nice start.
Oh, he's too short for this ball.
Got a decent volley going here. Both competitors taking it easy on each other. Oh, net shot, and the ball comes back.
Oh, that one just almost made it above the net.
Oh, what a spin! Do you see it?
Nice spin move there by the Bier Vampire, and he's... I think the Bier Vampire actually managed to outsmart himself that time. Back to Transylvania, buddy.
Oh, and a great Murach. That's a mistake at the serve. He's really good at this. Seeing the replay again. Nice Murach by Bier Vampire.
Going back to the action now. Nice corner shot off the end of the table. Oh!
Clearly point for Sniper.
Using your hand there, buddy. That's not allowed, and the Bier Vampire gets back to work.
What's going on with Vampire?
6-1 already. Sniper at the serve. Smash left, right. Next mistake by Bier Vampire. 7-1 already.
Mistakes, mistakes, mistakes.
Nice volley to start. Both players taking a little bit more of a conservative approach at this time.
And the Bier Vampire come back. First volley, next volley. Oh, that's too short for the Sniper. 7-2.
Little shin to the table action there. You got to watch out for injuries in an event like this. And again with the spin move from the Bier Vampire. He's getting a lot of spin on that.
So, but Sniper's good at volley too, but it's not enough for the defense of Vampire.
Sniper Schorsch showing what he's made of with a nice power move across the table. Another spin move to start. Some of these hits are a little dirty, hitting the net. That is legal, but both competitors want to maintain control at this point.
Point for Vampire. In German we say it, beide gut.
Really great point by both players. Defensive action, offensive action. Really, really nice Headis.
But there you see, Sniper's slow.
7-5 already. Vampire back in the game.
Mistake. Another mistake. 2 easy points for Sniper. Oh, nervous mistake by Bier Vampire here at set points for Sniper.
Falk serves, nice high move, giving Marcus plenty of time for that volley. It was up in the air. He had all day long to make that actual hit.
Easy mistakes by both players. Not a good serve, but not a good smash from the sniper, so it's 9-7. Next easy mistake, 10-7 for the sniper. So here we got the set points for sniper.
And Falk continues to send them off the table. I'm not sure if this is part of a long-term ploy on his part or whether the beer vampire had too much beer last night.
Sniper's chance to win the set while he's serving. He forces beer vampire down to the ground and wins the set. Here once again we see Sniper dominates the game.
And you can see the love each competitor has, not only for the sport, but looking out for each other in a match like this. It's a wonderful thing to see. They've not just got to face each other, they have to last through this match and then go on to the final. So you can imagine most of these competitors taking a more conservative approach. Beer Vampire licking his chops right now. Falk takes a dive, hits the floor, gets right back up, and a nice hand slap between one player to another. So Sniper Shorts wins game 1 against Beer Vampire. This is a best of 3, so Vampire still has a chance to advance to the finals. Game 2 coming up soon. I'll be back later on for the Rock, Paper, Scissors Las Vegas Pro-Am Grand Prix, but right now the World Juggling Federation's advanced competitions are about to get started on the expo stage, so I will leave you for now in the capable hands of Las Vegas juggler extraordinaire, Jeff Savilico.
Thanks, Master Rosh. We are just moments away from the final 3 competitions of the Advanced Overall Championship. You can see our competitors warming up here, about to take on the Advanced Short programs, first with 5 balls, then 5 rings, then 5 clubs. Yesterday, the competitors started the Advanced Overall Championship with the endurance and freestyle competitions. This is an accumulative score from 2 days of events, and these first competitions awarded 1 point for first place, 0.5 points for second place, and 0.25 points for third place. Starting with the endurance competitions, all competitors failed to qualify 9 balls, so it was an even score on that. In the 8-ring endurance competition, Spencer Androli secured second place with the bare minimum 16 catches, and Delaney Bayless received first place with just 2 more catches, finishing with 18. The 7-club endurance competition had strong placements, starting off with Delaney Bayless in third place with 18 catches. Spencer Androli in second place with 24 catches. And Masahiro Takahashi in first place with 54 catches. And you can see here, after the endurance competitions concluded, Delaney was in first place as a result of 2 second-place finishes and 1 third-place finish. Spencer and Masahiro tied for second place with 1 point each. In the 5-ball freestyle competition, Julius Prue received third place for 2 connected 5-up 360s. Spencer Androli received second place for a 9-7-5-3-1 up the back into back crosses. And first place goes to Delaney Bayless for a back cross 360 into overhead throws. Delaney received second place in the 7-ball freestyle competition with a 5-up 540 into a collect. And Julius Prue received first place for a 5-up 360 into 8x6. And in the final freestyle competition, third place went to Masahiro Takahashi for a run of body throws. Second place to Kenny Chung for a run of a move called Lazies. And Delaney takes home another first place finish with a 3-up 360 into 7-5-6-6-1. So final scores after the endurance and freestyle competitions. We have Delaney in the lead with a 3.75. Spencer trailing behind in second by 2.25 points with a 1.5. Julius in third with a 1.25. And Kenny with a 3.25 point disadvantage going into the short programs with only a half a point. Today, you're going to see Delaney Bayless, Kenny Chung, and Spencer Androli's 5-ball routines. Here to provide you with expert play-by-play commentary is World Juggling Federation President Jason Garfield and Penn Jillette.
Thanks, Jeff, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am joined by Penn Jillette, who started his career in entertainment as a juggler. Next up in the 5-ball short program is Delaney Bayless. Delaney entered this competition last year for the first time at age 17 and placed second. Jonah Botvinnik Greenhouse placed first, but he's not here this year to defend his title, which leaves a potential vacancy available for Delaney. That is an incredibly difficult connection going from a 5-up 360 right into back crosses. It's so difficult, and now Delaney has to decide if she's going to try it again or move on. And she's moving on to a 3-up 720 and nails that. You know, you can waste time and lose more points if you continue to fail. Going from overhead throws right into back crosses. That's a good connection.
Yeah, that looks hard.
And a 3-up back cross 360 out of it. Now, she won't get the connection bonus for that 360, but she will maintain the points for the overhead to back cross connection.
Now, stopping between tricks gives you no connection, right?
Right.
But you still get your points for the trick.
Yeah, if you qualify the move, you still get the points for it, but if you were planning a connection and your start value is based on that connection, then you're going to bring your score down a little bit.
I see. Sure.
There's a 1 high, 4 low, 5-up 360. The first throw higher than the rest so that it comes down last. That's a nice angle to see back crosses from. That's a 3-up back cross 360. There's those overhead throws, and that's a connection right into back crosses.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And that's the most difficult version of it. It's not as difficult to go from back crosses to overheads, but from overheads, because you're going lower, it makes it more difficult to get into back crosses. And there's that 1 high, 4 low, 5-up 360.
That is really nice.
And Delaney scores a 5.96 for her 5-ball short program, bringing her overall score up to a 9.71.
Kenny Chung and Spencer Androli still have a chance to get their scores up from the 5-ball routines, and we'll see that soon. But coming up next, Venom's World Trick Shot Grand Prix, the Rock, Paper, Scissors Pro-Am Grand Prix,
The Sepak Takraw Open,
and Juggle only on the Moxie Games.
The Moxie Games are brought to you by The Passing Zone, the world's most entertaining comedy and juggling duo, PassingZone.com. Moxie.Games. Stream the Moxie Games and more outside-the-box sports at Moxie.Games. Jason Garfield Personal Training. No nonsense, fast results, lose fat, increase strength, JasonGarfield.com. While we wait for the debut of Venom's World Trick Shot Grand Prix to begin, let's check out some of the foot sports at the Moxie Games. This year, Foot Sports UK launched a completely new sport, foot darts. It was an overnight success, gaining 57 million views and an invitation to SkillCon, where they held an 8-day tournament and, in collaboration with SkillCon, created an even newer event, Takraw Darts. The idea? Recruit Sepak Takraw's finest players to serve and spike balls into the huge 22-foot by 25-foot dartboard. This year was just an exhibition to pave the way for next year's World Takraw Dart Championships. This is a new and exciting foot and dart sport event that's going to continue to explode all over the world. Of course, we also have the best dart players at SkillCon.
That's 10 bullseyes and 0.
But we'll get to them later. For now,
Back to Venom's World Trick Shot Grand Prix, where Brian Pauly and Jason Lynch are standing by.
And thank you, Penn Jillette, for the intro, and welcome everyone to Venom's World Trick Shot Grand Prix. I'm Jason, the Michigan Kid Lynch, and joining me here in the booth is Brian Superman Pauly, an artistic pool player in his own right.
How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing well.
We got 4 great competitors today, and it's going to be some great trick shots to watch.
And today starts the beginning of a new pool trick shot tournament created by one of the world's most recognizable figures in the sport. Coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada for the World Trick Shot Grand Prix. He's a 2012 inductee for the National Italian American Sports Hall of Fame, a 3-time ESPN World Cup of Trick Shots champion, a 2-time ESPN Trick Shot Magic champion. Say hello to Mr. Trick Shots, Stefano Palinga. Our second competitor, he is a 3-time ESPN World Cup of Trick Shots champion. He's a 2007 U.S. Open Artistic Pool champion, the 2006 WPA Open Artistic Pool champion. He is considered the founding father of modern-day artistic pool. Say hello to Dr. Q, Tom Rossman. All right, well, Tom's chosen for the first shot here. This is a compression bank shot, or kick shot, actually. He's going to hit the cue ball into the rail. It's going to pass by the 9 there and kick the 8 ball cross side, flipping the bag over, sending that 8 ball into the side pocket. All right, Tom, let's see if he does this here.
How would he hit that?
No problem, man.
He does this in the shows all the time. I expect him to make this one.
Beautiful shot. Here's Stefano. No score there.
Oh, he just missed the bag.
Yeah, so Tom took a 1-point lead here. Stefano was picked one of Mike Massey's shots, actually out of Mike Massey's book. This is called a jizz and hum mess. You've got to get all these balls set perfectly on this table. The kisses, caroms, everything's got to work together.
Yeah, Massey named it properly. It does look like a mess right there.
All right, very difficult here. Let's see what he does. Oh, no problem.
Oh, he hit that like a hanger, didn't he?
Stefano tied it up, 1 apiece.
Nice shot, Stefano.
Here's a replay here.
Good to see him back shooting.
Here's Tom, see if we can answer. A little slower.
Pocket
speed.
Look at this.
Not a problem. Tom leading 2-1 here.
That's a beautiful shot.
Everything pocket speed here. Even makes the cue ball. The third shot, and Tom's second shot, it's a push-through shot. It's actually called a hand is quicker than the eye. He's got a big distance between the cue ball and the 3. He's going to hit the cue ball and follow through. The cue and the 5 will actually split. Actually hit the 3 ball into 2 balls that are hidden under the handkerchief. The biggest thing on this is to actually have a really good straight follow-through to make this shot.
We'll see whose eye is quicker on this one.
Looks like he's got a magic trick here.
It's a pretty shot if he hits it.
No problem.
Look at that. Great shot.
3-1. Favor of Tom. Put some pressure on Stefano here. He answered back. Almost had to carry him with the 2 ball there. 3-2 in favor of Tom. Very nice stroke there by Stefano. All right, Stefano's second shot, the 4th shot in this match. It's a jump masse shot. He's going to elevate his cue stick, hit the 1 ball in the corner pocket, jump over that row of balls, and come around 3 rails. Stefano's really known for his stroke shots, so we'll see what happens here.
Be interesting what Tom does with this, because Tom's more of the entertainer setup shots. We'll see how he does with this.
Needs to make this a tied up.
Oh, man.
Oh, he clipped the row of balls there.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah, he just didn't seem like he got enough of a jump on it. There's Tom answering. Ooh, good stroke.
Here we go. Check this out.
3 rails.
Does he get it? Does he get it?
Oh, man. Did not connect. Still in the lead, 3-2 here. Boy, put a nice stroke on that.
Man.
Very nice stroke. Look at the spin on that ball.
Pretty shot, but he barely misses by only inches. Look at that.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
The Moxie Games are coming back to SkillCon in Las Vegas this December. Register online at skillcon.org.
This comes up in a lot of the trick shots that we do. He's going to actually hit this ball, take it off the other cushion, catch it in the cup. Now, the biggest thing here is getting the right speed and angle on the cue to allow that ball to jump back at you and not off the table.
This is why you try this at your neighbor's house. You don't want to mess up your own pool room.
Tom in the driver's seat, 3-2, so he's picking an old standard of his.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, nothing but net. That's smart for Tom to do that because he knows the shot in and out.
See Stefano's response. Look at this.
Pretty good hands for Stefano there. Tom's still leading 4-3 here. Here's the replay.
He hit this really good.
Pretty quick there with the hand. All right, this is actually a shot that Stefano's used in ESPN Trick Shot Magic numerous times. The biggest thing here is to actually just hit the 7 on the jump. You do not want to hit the 9 when you jump that cue ball into those stacked balls, because if you do hit the 9, there's no chance of it coming down and landing on the bottom.
Stefano's really known for this. I've seen him shoot this many, many times, and I expect him to hit this again. Oh, man, he almost made that.
Boy, I'm surprised he missed that. I've seen him make that so many times.
Yeah, it's just such a tough shot.
You see the cue ball came up and clipped the 9. That's why it actually didn't fall straight down.
Oh man, Tom didn't miss it too.
Same thing there. See, Tom's actually hitting the bottom of the 7. So it actually popped the 9 ball at an angle. That's why it didn't drop down on the bottle there. And here's another one of our prop shots. When you follow through and hit that 8 ball, you do not want to have that cue ball land on your cue stick. You've got to have some quick hands to get this to move, and you've got to bank the ball cross side.
Yes, Tom uses this a lot in his shows, and I expect him to make this first time.
Tom's still in the driver's seat here.
Oh man,
short. The table's playing a little shorter than the both players are used to, I think. And it came about a half a diamond short there.
Just missed it.
Now let's see if Stefano actually looks at that and makes an adjustment. He actually did make an adjustment.
Oh wow, he over-adjusted.
He over-adjusted. Yeah, that's what happens there.
Yeah, he went a little slower than Tom, but yeah, he over-adjusted.
All right, Stefano's pick for the 8th shot in the match. A really quirky shot. He's actually got 2 cigarettes stood up there. And the way to actually not foul through on these is actually to hit your hand on the end of the table as you stroke through. And that limits the distance that cue can travel forward. Very difficult shot. Really quirky shot.
Yeah, this is another one Stefano's known for. And many of us have tried this, have busted our knuckles up on the table pretty good trying this.
Yeah, he can't hit those cigarettes. Actually, oh, no problem. See, the trick on this is actually he hits his hand on the back of that table. That stops him from going too far forward.
I don't know how many of us has hurt our hand trying that shot.
This shot's been around for a while. Tom might have this in his bag of tricks. We'll see.
Oh man, he just scooped it right there.
Yeah, he's just a little below center, hopped the cue ball. Smart shot by Stefano, tying the game up here at 4-all. All right, Tom's chosen the just showing off shot with a little added addition with the jump here. This shot was actually made famous by Steve Mizrak in a beer commercial. Steve was a elementary school teacher. He used to use pool and geometry to teach his students.
Yeah, this is always a real fun shot. There's cute. There's balls going all over the place here. When now you're jumping a ball off the rail, you got to time this just right.
Yeah, the biggest thing on this is to readjust after you hit the first cue ball. You have to readjust and hit that jump shot in time. Probably the most popular trick shot of all time. There's the 8 ball.
Look at this.
No problem.
That good.
Beautiful shot.
Nice variation of that old classic shot.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think Stefano should make this without any problem. The biggest thing for Stefano, he's the strong point's not the speed jumps and stuff like that. So he has to reposition himself quick enough to be able to hit this jump before that 9 ball falls.
Let's see what he does here. Balls go. Does he get it in time? Yes, he does.
Ooh, buzzer beater there. But he did get the 10 ball in the corner before that 9 dropped.
Nice shot.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on.
Nice show of sportsman by Dr. Q there.
That was beautiful.
That was a beautiful stroke.
Here's the replay here. Repositions. There's the jump, catch. Barely got it in there before the 9, but he did get it there. So as it stands right now, both players are tied with 5 points each. This is a first to 10 point scoring system, so it's still anyone's game. But right now you can hear the Moxie Games music starting from the Expo stage, which means it's time for the Rock, Paper, Scissors Las Vegas Pro-Am Grand Prix to get started. So we'll take you now to that, and we'll see you back here later for the continuation of Venom's World Trick Shot Grand Prix.
Welcome back to the Moxie Games. This here's the Midnight Rider, the reigning Brooklyn Heights Atlantic Yard SmackDown champion.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kimbo Scythe here, 4-time Olympic medal winner of RPS.
And we're getting ready to start the Rock, Paper, Scissors Las Vegas Pro-Am Grand Prix. That's a mouthful. Speaking of mouth, here's a man that's got one, Master Rochambeau.
Thank you all. And a big hand for Moxie Games, as well as for the Moxie Games dancers. You guys are about to see unparalleled one-on-one hand sports combat. Anyone who doesn't believe rock, paper, scissors is a serious sport has never actually played it. It requires the same mental focus and reaction time as gymnastics, esport fighting games, and horseshoes. Now, there are 2 basic strategies in rock, paper, scissors. Reading the other player, then influencing what they do. There's 2 ways to do this. Both physical, you can look at what the other person is throwing, physical tells, or you can influence them with the way you throw. You can also pick up on patterns, as well as put out fake patterns to fool your opponent. There's also cheating.
switching throws last minute. Now this is very low play, only used by very sad and desperate players. Reffing today's match is someone who's called me out on those things more times than I remember.
He has busted me over and over again for attempting to cheat, and he has actually made me a better player. I'd like to introduce to you the head referee of the World Rock, Paper, Scissors Society, direct from Toronto, Canada, Brad Fox.
Thank you very much. We've seen a very high level of play today. For those of you who are just joining us and not aware of the rules of competitive rock, paper, scissors, I'll give a brief overview. There are 3 throws. There are only 3 throws. They are rock, paper, scissors. Paper is always horizontal. Scissors is always vertical. This is a competitive match, so we're playing under WRPS international rules, which is a 3-prime shoot. That's 1, 2, 3, and then you deliver your throw on the 4th prime. These 8 competitors qualified through their skills in playing something called Street. They managed to hustle enough bucks out of their fellow competitors to make the top 8. But now we're in the finals, we're playing a structured competitive game, full hustler rules. The first competitor to 10 points wins. This is a direct elimination tournament, so the winner moves on, and the loser goes home.
All right, we're starting off here with Jorge versus Douglas. Now these are classically trained players, and now there's a rock tie to open. You were telling me earlier to expect a lot of ties in this tournament, weren't you?
If we follow the patterns of RPS, we see a lot of ties, especially in the beginning, and that's what we are starting off with here. Jorge in the lead, 2-0.
And what I'm wondering right now is what's up with Douglas and the hat? Why is he wearing a hat like that?
I don't know, Ryder. It looks pretty hot. I don't know if it's going to throw him off.
Maybe there's a little tinfoil underneath that hat to prevent some mind control or something, but I've never seen a player wear a funny-looking hat and do anything in tournament competition.
Count is still 1-4. Douglas, time to wake
Douglas
up, man.
is a classically trained player. He's been doing 3 rocks in a row here and there, things like that. I don't know if it's going to go up against this Jorge. He's definitely in his opponent's head.
Jorge in the lead. Might have something to do with that bag behind him.
Oh, and Jorge's bringing this one home, baby. Oh, there we go. That was a beautiful match. But what's he picking up? What's in that bag?
Jorge takes the first match, winning his final 4 throws in a row. Paper to rock, scissors to paper, rock to scissors, and the final death blow, paper to rock. And let me tell you, you do not want Jorge's paper anywhere near your rock. And for anyone who still doubts rock, paper, scissors place as a legitimate sport, oh, look at this. Total sports loser face right there. That is the face you make when you lose at a sport. So Jorge advances to the quarterfinals as we bring out our next 2 combatants.
All right, and what's your name, please?
Heather.
Heather, also known as?
The Dominator.
Okay, and what's your name?
Bennett.
Do you have a nickname in the sport?
Bennett.
All right. That's awesome. Go with what you know. I love it. All right, Dominator versus Bennett.
On my mark. Ready?
All right, I see here we already have a height discrepancy.
Now, usually in a lot of sports, the player with height has an advantage. Would you say Bennett is at an advantage or a disadvantage
Now,
in this
in my
one?
experience, Ryder, I find that the younger generation happens to be shorter, and I see them taking the lead and winning all the time. Now, if you see here, Heather, the Dominator is trying to take advantage here. She's bending at the knees, trying to get down at Bennett's level.
Yeah, she's trying to play at his level. Brad Fox stepping in there. That's a good call.
Dominator in the lead.
She's in the lead, but Bennett is going to take this as a little bit of a strategic timeout, I reckon. He's going to come out of this gate flying. And what do you think about all these scissors ties that we're seeing? That was your throw.
Ties, yeah, my favorite throw. Definitely the most difficult throw.
And they keep tying on that scissors. It's almost like it's a safe space. Now, the Midnight Rider don't need no safe space, but for a lot of players it can be useful as a little bit of a launching spot, I reckon.
You know, I think they're trying to wear each other out with the scissors.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Now, if I've seen Bennett play before, and don't underestimate his size or his age. He is going to come out and try to win this one quick. He's got her right where he wants her. I see a quick and easy win for Bennett right here.
I think you're right, Ryder. We see a tie here, but I think Bennett's going to take the win.
Yeah. If I were him too, I'd avoid that scissors at this point. He doesn't need to play it safe. He can bring this one home.
Rock, paper, rock.
Yeah.
Solid win with the rock.
That was a great match. It was beautiful to watch.
Wonderful match, Heather. You really took him the distance on that.
Now, an interesting statistic in this match to note. Heather and Bennett tied 6 times, and each time they both threw scissors. They're obviously both relying on endurance here by tying on the most difficult throw to form, which is scissors. Bennett dominated the Dominator, winning his last 3 throws in a row. Rock to scissors, paper to rock, and finally destroying the Dominator's scissors with his rock. If you smell la 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 what the rock is cooking. Bennett advances to the quarterfinals, and we are halfway through the top 8. Now, let's get Shane and Shu out here for our next match.
Now, Kimbo, earlier you were telling me that there's going to be a lot of ties to open these matches, and there goes another one. There's a paper tie. Now, if you followed these players' careers like I have, you know they've both trained for endurance, and they're throwing a lot of ties out the gate. What do you make of that?
Both of these two are definitely on their way to pro. You can see Shu, he's dressed in his athletic apparel.
Yeah.
You can almost see the sweat dripping on his forehead. Ooh, Shane takes the lead.
Yeah, and Shane looks like he's going out for a night with the bros in his outfit, but he's putting that left hand in his pocket. Now, I don't know if he's saving it for later or he's just giving Shu something to think about, but Shu needs to get his head back in the game.
Might be a nervous tick here.
Could be, but I'm not sure on which side. Now, here's another one of those height advantages you were talking about, or disadvantage you were talking about earlier. Shu's bending down, trying to get down to Shane's level.
Bending at the waist. You can even see Brad Fox getting down to their level.
Yeah, he's got to be able to see these throws, and Shane, his hand-eye coordination is fantastic at this point, and he's not giving anything away. Shu's chewing on that lower lip. He's nodding his head. He's trying to make himself feel a little more confident, but Shane's looking back at Brad Fox for a little reassurance now.
You see they got off a little bit there. Brad Fox is going to count this out for them.
Yep, you don't want no working on the railroad, and they're slowing. Oh man, these guys are tired.
Down.
Look at that pace.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think Shane is used to that slower pace too. He doesn't need to go fast. He can take this match any way he wants, but I'm thinking Shu's probably going to come back out of this and go for an easy win here.
I feel a win. I feel a win for Shane, shortest player.
No, I disagree with you there. I think. Oh
man.
There
we go.
Well, it's hard to get too upset about a match like that. Sorry about that, Shu. Time to call the Uber and head home.
Shane and Shu tied a total of 13 times. 9 ties, all is paper. And Shu liked paper so much that it sealed his fate as it met head-to-head with Shane's scissors. Shane's last 6 throws followed the pattern rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Literally throwing the name of the sport back to back. So Shane advances to the quarterfinals with Jorge and Bennett. One final matchup in the top 8. Grant and JJ, you're up.
Now talk about the ties. Here are 2 Pro-Am players that ain't afraid to tie it up.
You can see the intent on JJ's face. He's obviously a very experienced RPS player, taking the lead here, 3-1.
And if you look at JJ, they're calling out the cadence. They're trying to get Grant to play at their speed. JJ's already controlling this match, not just on the scoreboard, but in how fast they're playing. You see them just see the lips moving there.
Now I'm wondering what is with the messenger bag.
I'm not sure. It is blue, which is JJ's power color. So maybe it's addressing an imbalance by adding a little more weight to that side. Maybe it's just giving Grant something to think about other than the game. Grant's rocking the red, white, and blue. It's getting the crowd behind him, but I think you're gonna need a lot more than that, buddy.
I don't know if it's gonna work for him.
Yeah, so I think JJ's gonna try to bring this one home quick. Grant's trying to get a little bit of momentum flowing here.
Oh, I can feel a win.
Yep,
Feel a win
it's coming
for JJ.
one way or the other. Grant's looking around. I can't help you, buddy.
Here we go,
Can't help
count it
you.
out.
And
1,
a
2,
lot of
3.
ties here.
Oh!
JJ's got this one in the bag.
Solid.
Got it in the messenger
In
bag.
the messenger bag.
A total of 13 ties. 9 is paper. Paper is the most frequently tied throw in the top 8. This is definitely an endurance match. It reminds me of Ali versus Foreman in the Rumble in the Jungle. Now, early in the round, I noticed that JJ was controlling the cadence of the match, controlling the pace. Now, this has a strategic advantage because different players do train at different speeds. And if you can get the other player to play at your speed, you can control their flow. And in the end, at 9-6, it was paper to paper, paper to paper, and then finally rock to scissors. Suck that scissors right out of him with all those paper throws, which advances JJ to the quarterfinals.
So just like that, 8 competitors are reduced to 4. And we'll see Jorge versus JJ and Shane versus Bennett later on in the semifinals. Coming up next in the Moxie Games, the Sepak Takraw finals get started between teams White Dragon and Surreal Killers and Dodge Juggle. SkillCon and the Moxie Games are the home for a variety of athletes who envision a new sport or a new direction for their skills. Acro Integration combines martial arts tricking, gymnastics, breaking, and feats of balance and flexibility all into one event. Jamie Stroud, Scott McDonald, and the acrobolic Juji Mufu kicked off their event with an exhibition of their collective skills to set the stage for their competition. More on that coming up soon. Right now, let's join the Sepak Takraw Open final match between teams White Dragon and Surreal Killers, hosted by ISTAF Australian team representatives Alex Newman and Daniel Ellen Barwell.
Thank you, Penn, and welcome to the Moxie Games. We're about to witness some awesome Sepak Takraw. We're in Las Vegas, and you're about to witness the first collaboration between the non-profit sporting organization, the Sepak Takraw of USA Incorporated, the International Sepak Takraw Federation, and their equipment partner, Marathon. They have brought us world-class courts, 8 of the top USA teams, and we're about to see an elimination final match between the teams that fought through yesterday to get to here today. My name is Daniel Ellen Barwell, and alongside me, fellow Australian Alex Newman. Alex, we saw great competition yesterday. This is the final though, this is where it counts. What can you tell us about our 2 final teams?
Thank you, Daniel. Yes, it was a big day of Sepak Takraw indeed yesterday, a couple of huge semi-finals. The gold medal match will be played between the Serial Killers from California, seeded 3rd. They did well to make it through the semi-final, defeating the 2nd-seeded team of Minnesota B. And they'll be playing against the Minnesota White Dragon, the top seed team. Starting on the court will be brothers Kerchar and Truchar, and feeder will be John Lee. On the bench, Gao Sheng, uncle of True and Kerr, so a real family affair there for the Minnesota side. And the Serial Killers will be represented by Mualaw, Jack Harris, Jim Tao, and starting on the bench will be Jeremy Merkin.
If you're not too familiar with Sepak Takraw, it's best thought of as a kick volleyball played on a badminton court.
That's right, Daniel. Essentially kick volleyball, so 3 touches a side. It's played on a court of the same dimensions as badminton. One of the key differences being that one player can take 3 consecutive touches if they wish. And of course, the obvious one is that you can use any part of the body to contact the ball except for the hands or the arms.
Well, let's go down courtside, and we're about to see in the black the White Dragons of Minnesota receiving serve from the Serial Killers, number 2, Mualaw. First serve nerves, have the ball going just long.
Yeah, shaky start for Mualaw. You can see he didn't quite get on top of that ball. Perhaps an issue with the ball toss from Jim Tao.
Second one's much the same. We are under bright lights. It is a high-stress situation.
And gold medal match. A lot of nerves, I'm sure, for Mualaw and Jim Tao with the ball toss. Trailing 0-2.
Third time's a charm. We're in.
Anthony goes up for the spike. It's a good one. Jack Harris can't quite keep that one under control. And it's a really confident start for the Minnesota White Dragons, leading 3-0 now.
Change of serve every 3 points. Minnesota. Ace right into the pocket.
And that is brilliant placement. Look at that, right in the gap between Jack Harris and Mualaw. Right inside the baseline, doesn't get much better than that. Second serve, just as good. Mualaw can't control that. Dragons now leading 5-0. And the Killers looking a little bit respondent now.
Popped back over, another opportunity for the Minnesota Dragons.
Good spike, looks like it's gone wide though. Truchar, he likes it, but I think it's gone wide. Yep, there you go. Slow motion replay shows it's just gone wide. Killers on the board now.
Easy play here for Truchar. Tries to do a little bit too much though, takes all 3 and just pops it out of play. And that would be the first real positive signs we've seen from the Serial Killers.
Mualaw's taken a couple of minutes to get started. That serve was much better though. He's pushed that one right out to the sideline. Let's see what he can do here with this one. Another good serve there. True goes up. Oh, kept in play by Jack Harris. Can't quite get to it though. That ball was in play. You can play the ball as far wide as you want. It's Jack Harris. He's done really well just to get that ball up. Cameraman nearly copped a tackle ball or a foot to the head.
It's all part of the price when you pay when you're watching Sepak Takraw in close quarters. Big roll spike. First one we have seen so far, and that was Jim.
Yeah, Jim Tao on the board. That is a textbook roll spike. The set perfectly positioned right near the net over his left shoulder. Jim Tao executes that fantastic back-flipping roll spike motion.
Minnesota, another opportunity, quick. It's the sun back, but there's a block thrown up by Jim Tao again.
Jim Tao, he's loving that. Look at this block, beautifully positioned. He loves it. He knows it's good as soon as it comes off the shin. Fantastic Sepak Takraw there. That's what you like to see.
Kershaw once more. He really has been serving very well at the start of this match.
Well, Kershaw, he's perhaps one of the best servers that the United States has ever seen. He's played for the national team before at huge international events, and he's showing us how he's done so well. Mualaw, though, good drop serve there. Kershaw's going for all pace. Mualaw showing us that the deft touch, the short serves can be just as effective if executed well.
There you go, textbook example, Alex. And it was a complete walk away at the start for the Dragons, but now they pulled it back to 7-all.
That's a good serve from Moore. He's really gotten his act together here. That's another good one.
Jack Harris a little bit unlucky to pick that one up. He tried to get off the spike, but the ball's just moving too quick.
8 wide Dragon.
Kershaw and the Dragons to serve. That's a good one. Jack's under control though.
Popped back over. Oh, lots of power, but that is long.
Well, the set was nice and high. Truchar had all the time in the world to go up and get it, but he's just mistimed that a little. As you can see, he's put that well wide. So 8-all.
Kershawing, he's got a drop shot up his sleeve as well.
That is a fantastic drop serve. It had very little flight time, so it wasn't as short as Mualaw's serves, but it spent so little time in the air. It's just so effective, and he's backed it up there with a power serve. So you can see Jack Harris, he was moving forward, he was expecting and anticipating the drop serve. Kershaw's keeping him guessing.
Chance now for the Serial Killers from California. Big roll spike, kept in play. Oh, so close.
Couldn't convert. Truchar, he's done so well to block that ball. Here's the block, kept in play. That counts as one touch. Now Gao Chang, that's the second touch. The nice set, the feed. Truchar, oh, he's gone for the drop spike. It was so close. Almost made it over. Just couldn't convert in the end. Dragons still have a slender lead though. That's blocked wide by Jin Tao.
You got to think it is close. We thought it would be a little bit different. We thought the Minnesota team would be walking away when the first few points were played.
Minnesota, they are top seeds coming into this gold medal match, and that's why Truchar, another fantastic spike. These three, they've played together so much. They're so well drilled. They're just a well-oiled machine. Just look at that technique. Fantastic sunback spike motion. It's almost like a scissor kick. You might see it in soccer or football sometimes, but it's a regular occurrence here in the Sepak Takraw world. Jin Tao just mistiming that axe kick, the slap of the ball there. Doesn't convert. The Dragons now walking away a little, 13-9.
Pops back over. Free chance. Oh, clever play.
It doesn't always have to be the acrobatic spikes in Sepak Takraw. The simple plays can often work just as well. 3 quick headers in succession, and it's the placement there that's done the damage for Truchar and the Minnesota White Dragons. So 14-9 is the current score with the Minnesota White Dragons in the lead. We'll take a short break now and hand it back over to Pendulette, who is joined by Adam Candy, who is standing by to present the world premiere of Dodge Juggle, a Moxie Game original event.
Thank you, Daniel and Alex. We're getting ready for the premiere of Dodge Juggle in just a moment. This has never been done before, so you're witnessing history in the making. This is the sport of the future. I'm sure people have thrown things at jugglers before, but this is the first time that points are being awarded for it. We have John Wee and Owen Morse of the Passing Zone courtside to introduce today's Dodge Juggle event. And I'm joined by Adam Candy, who will add that professional sports commentator voice to give Dodge Juggle credibility as a legitimate sport.
Thanks, Penn. Happy to help.
Let's go down to the courtside where the Passing Zone is standing by.
Thanks, Penn, and welcome to Dodge Juggle, a Moxie Games original event being held at SkillCon in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm John Wee.
And I'm Owen Morse.
We are known as the Passing Zone.
And tonight we present you Dodge Juggle, a cross between juggling and dodgeball. The big difference is that instead of taking out people, you're taking out jugglers.
Yeah, well, you're taking out the jugglers' clubs, at least.
Oh, right, yeah.
Jugglers are seldom taken out.
I guess that's
by anyone, really.
No, exactly. Yeah.
No.
We have 3 gameplay formats tonight, and we're going to start with 1-on-5.
That's right, 1 dodgeballer versus 5 jugglers. The dodgeballer has to take out as many jugglers as possible within 1 minute and the jugglers just have to survive the wave of attacks with their juggling pattern intact.
Oh yeah, it's everyone's dream.
We have to take a quick break. When we return, Dodge Juggle debuts with me and Candy here talking smack about it, only on the Moxie Games.
The Moxie Games are coming back to SkillCon in Las Vegas this December. Register online at skillcon.org.
First up is the acrobolic Juji Mufu, demonstrating his acrobatic prowess in an apparent attempt to intimidate the 5 jugglers he's up against. He will have 1 minute to take them all out, and to do that, he only needs to cause each juggler to drop a minimum of 1 club each. Unforced errors count, as well as intimidation techniques that result in a drop club. If the competitor succeeds in taking out all 5 jugglers within his 1 minute time limit, his completion time will be matched up against the other competitor's time to determine 1st through 3rd placements and international seeding for next year's event. Here are the anthropomorphized juggling whack-a-moles he's facing. Noah Schmeisner, the number 2 seeded combat juggler in the world. Josh Horton, the number 1 seeded combat juggler in the world. Spencer Androli, an accomplished World Juggling Federation advanced competitor. Max Poff and David Janssen, both combat juggler competitors. Janssen traveled all the way from Sweden to be a Dodge Juggle whack-a-mole. Alternates are Liam Halstead, Bennett Santora, and Malika Abramson. All right, the countdown has begun, and with the first throw, a direct hit on Liam Halstead, but ineffective. Another attempt, this time with a direct hit and exploding a club out the side door. Mr. Mufu targets the face of Malika, misses, but all 3 clubs fall to the ground. We're now down to 3. An unforced error takes Bennett down. Another unforced error brings it down to 1. Just one more to go here for Juji Mufu.
Here he goes.
Oh, a direct hit to the gut followed by another attack, and Androli can't maintain control and lets a club drop to the ground. Juji Mufu establishes a time of 28 seconds. He took down his first juggler 7 seconds in, then another at 10 seconds in. Juggler 3 fell at 17 seconds due to an unforced error, as did Juggler 4 at 25 seconds. And in the final takedown, a blow right to the very core of Spencer Androli, and he is unable to continue.
I only hope you can find someone good enough to stand out against my onslaught!
He does have an incredible onslaught.
He does, yeah, I noticed that.
All right, well, up next is Angry Joe, who's all jacked up on his own amino acid-infused brand of coffee.
I drink a lot of Angry Joe coffee.
That's what I recommend.
Amino acid infused,
Yeah.
extra caffeine.
Yeah.
I'm angry.
Okay, well, let's see if extra caffeinated amino acid-infused anger is the secret recipe to a Dodge Juggle victory. The countdown begins, and Angry Joe targets Spencer Androli's head, but quick dodge keeps Androli in. Josh Horton drops due to an unforced error, down to 4. Bullseye on Max Poff, who's more resilient than David Janssen. Well, he lost a club, so he's on his way out as well. Schmeisner dodging well.
Takes a couple hits, still does okay. Well, good, Spencer's out. He didn't get hit, did he?
Well, sometimes those unforced errors can be the death of you in a hurry. Androli, although he is out, is pinned in by Angry Joe's repeated peripheral targeting. Oh, Max Poff took that one straight in the chest. 1 to go now, past the halfway point with less than 30 seconds to go. Striking Schmeisner in the left shoulder, and he keeps the clubs in the air.
Still in?
No, hanging in there. Angry Joe's going to have to go recover and find the balls again. Looks like he's not moving at an angry speed right now.
He's angrier, Joe.
And Angry Joe is going to leave one on the floor. As impressive as Juji Mufu was at taking down the 5 jugglers in record time, Schmeisner sets the world record as the first juggler to survive a 1-minute wave of attacks and proves to be the most formidable player in 1-on-5 Dodge Juggle. Okay, here we see Angry Joe's first 2 throws that connect. The first one bouncing off Max Poff without effect, but then striking David Janssen, appearing to temporarily break his arm just long enough to drop a club.
What are your hopes for the future of the sport of Dodge Juggle?
Well, I'm hoping that all my little Joes and Josettes out there drink a lot of Angry Joe coffee.
I think that'll help.
Yeah.
Up next is Charles Peterson of Red Eye Rhino, the leader in sublimated dart jerseys and shirts, and the organizer of America's premier dart event, the Premier Cup of Darts. Oh, David Janssen dodging well down that first shot.
I don't think you want to be the guy in the middle.
A near hit aimed at Janssen's head, followed by an attack on Horton. A couple of unforced errors takes Bennett and Maleka out of the round. Going to force Charles to go after Janssen, and they move to the edges. There you go, Penn. They try to get away from that middle and make themselves more difficult targets. Peterson, now noticeably frustrated, turns his attention toward Horton. No! It's a fake, and he cripples Janssen's right ankle. This is down to Josh Horton.
Okay. But Josh is really good.
Talk about an unforced error. Peterson will go down in history as the first Dodge Juggle thrower to go down. Direct hit to Horton's gut, but Horton maintains control.
Takes the ball right in the chest. They'll keep juggling.
Horton dodges. Peterson scrambles to find his balls. Horton getting cocky and attempting a 360, fails to make the simplest of catches and takes himself out at 51 seconds.
Yeah, showing off.
Here's the one takedown Peterson was responsible for, that blow to Johnson's ankle, and then 2 direct hits to Horton. Horton taking blows to the gut and then the chest. But in the end, Horton takes himself out with a failed attempt at a 1-up 360, handing over a win to Peterson at 51 seconds. Probably the only way Peterson was going to get a win, but nevertheless, still a win. The second competitor in history to, one way or another, take down all 5 competitors.
The Moxie Games are brought to you by The Passing Zone, the world's most entertaining comedy and juggling duo, PassingZone.com. Moxie.games. Stream the Moxie Games and more outside-the-box sports at Moxie.games. Jason Garfield Personal Training. No nonsense, fast results, lose fat, increase strength. JasonGarfield.com.
Up next, we have a unique matchup. Cameron Ritter, who's also an accomplished juggler, takes the position of the thrower. This will be particularly interesting and more threatening to the jugglers because only another juggler understands the timing that juggling requires and can strategize based on knowledge of that timing. The countdown begins and Ritter launches a couple of balls on either side of Max Poff, and Poff's pattern goes poof.
The ones in the middle always go out first.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem.
Stay out of the middle.
And there's Josh Horton once again dancing around and staying out of trouble. Cameron Ritter of Primetime Personal Training, the 1 in the 1-on-5. Now going after Horton, missing the target. Ritter scrambles to find his balls, aiming in at Horton's face, but Horton dodges and stays in. Ooh, Josh. He's jumping and moving and keeping the clubs in the air. Ritter now turns his attention to Janssen, taking him down and bouncing a club off Bronson's right quad. Ritter now going after Nicholas Bronson's head, Bronson's long neck, allowing him to dodge without moving his body. Now he's in the middle, but takes the hit and keeps on chugging. Remember, Cameron has to stay behind that line, can't get any closer to fire the balls or to go retrieve them.
Oh, nice try.
Right there at the end. Bronson, can he be the last man standing? Yes, he's going to be there at the end of the clock, and Cameron Ritter can only take out 4 of 5. So here we see Horton dodging an onslaught of half a dozen or so attacks, able to keep his eyes on the incoming attacks while maintaining control over his clubs. Here we see Horton gets hit, but keeps going. And then right here, trying a neck wrap while under fire and loses control.
Yeah, just spend your time taking everyone else out, and Horton will drop trying tricks when he knows everyone's looking at him.
But Ritter unable to take out Nicholas Bronson. All right, 2 more rounds to go in this historic event, continuing with Geisy.
Oh, she tries both hands at once. Yeah, I don't know if that's I don't think that's wise, because you lose all the power.
Well, that's the thing. The cannon fires twice, but only at half speed.
Yeah.
Well, Geisy trying the double throw has yet to take out a competitor in the first 15 seconds. Halstead, they're unaffected by the... We're not going to call them lobs. They're not quite lobs, but they're certainly not jujimufus.
Her best bet would be to wait till they get tired. You know, like another 20, 30 minutes.
That's true, and that would be a competition for another time. She only has another 35 seconds here. Janssen next on her hit list, causing a convulsion that results in a drop.
They're getting a little cocky, aren't they?
Geisy now dedicating 2 balls in Horton's direction, swatting one of them away, and another block with a club while continuing to juggle. Horton going back to his old ways, throwing tricks. Successful execution of a 360. There's no benefit to doing tricks in this competition. Oh, Josh just inviting it now. And that's going to be time for Geisy, who takes out 2. Oh, she doesn't know the clock's over. Or does she? Just taking out a little rage there at the end. Time is called, and Geisy may think she was the one who needed to survive the minute, celebrating with a high five to the ref, then high-fiving her opponent, something rarely seen on the field. in any sport. Here again now are those blocks by Horton. And now those moves while getting hit by the ball, just continuing to show off. Horton doesn't just want to survive, he wants to survive in style. Monica now finishing off this year's Dodge Juggle 1-on-5 event. Looks like she's going to go for that two-handed approach. No, she has thought better of it after watching what Geisy went through. There's Josh Horton. Josh Horton's just swatting him away. Josh just adding in some flair.
He's the tough one.
Monica does not have a lot behind those
He
throws.
caught the ball, goes into four, throws it back to him.
I don't know. Back on the playground, that meant that Monica would have been out.
Yeah.
Liam Halstead swats one away. Monica is not having a successful round through the first 25 seconds, that's for sure.
No, not at all.
Horton now back to neck wraps, gets hit twice while paying more attention to his tricks, but doesn't lose control. Monica still looking to get a second competitor off the floor, still 4 of 5 hanging in there. Ooh. Josh Horton's haunting Monica, as if to say, you have no chance of taking me down.
She got a lot to accomplish in 5 seconds, don't you think?
I feel like the task might be too tall. 2, 1, and thanks for playing Monica. But Monica is still focused on taking out Horton. Oh, Monica, let it go, it's over. Oh, lands a blow right to Horton's face after time is called, after the whistle is blown. Oh, I believe she might have just been ejected after the whistle. So here we see Horton's audacious flaunting of his abilities, instigating what inevitably resulted in a softball gently bouncing off his face. And one of Monica's shining moments when she successfully took down a 9-year-old trying to juggle. So this year, only 2 competitors successfully took down all 5 jugglers within 1 minute. And you can see here their international seating placement. Charles Peterson in second place with 51 seconds, and the acrobolic Juji Mufu in first place with 28 seconds.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The final Dodge Juggle event, Dodge Juggle Protect.
2 5-club jugglers, each with a 5-person team sworn to protect them at all costs while trying to take out the opposing team's 5-club juggler located across the court.
This is a best 2 out of 3 set double elimination tournament. Here are the teams. Team Angry Joe's of Angry Joe's Coffee. Team Hypertrophy. Team Mooshwalks. Team Curious Codes. First up is Team Angry Joe's, consisting of Angry Joe himself, along with Cameron Ritter, Lisa Kamatsubara, Fabian Reese, and Nick Bronson. Their 5-club juggler will be Liam Halstead. They're facing Team Hypertrophy, Juji Mufu, Jamie Stroud, Scott McDonald, Sean Dibble, and Yuri Marmerstein. Their 5-club juggler is Noah Schmeisner. So the rules are simple, just take out the 5-club juggler. No one else can be taken out, so each team has to protect their juggler while trying to launch attacks at the opposing team's juggler. Round 1 begins, both teams scramble to collect their ammunition. Cameron Ritter of Angry Joe's attacks first. Yuri Marmerstein of Hypertrophy firing off, direct hit to the face. Halstead goes down, and Team Hypertrophy is up 1-0. There's a mad dash at the start. Here we see Ritter launching the first attack almost as soon as he got his hand on the ball. Actually hit Schmeisner in the head, but Schmeisner, a hardened combat player, is proving to be difficult to distract. This sends a clear message to Team Angry Joe's. You're gonna have to do better than that. And then Team Hypertrophy follows up with a direct hit to Halstead's face. Oh, Bronson, how did that make it through Nicholas Bronson?
Yeah.
Oh, false start there for Yuri is ready. And here we go for round 2, Angry Joe's and Team Hypertrophy. Juji Mufu fires a throw straight through Halstead's pattern. Then Fabian Reese fires off a direct hit, taking down one of Schmeisner's clubs, but Halstead also goes down. Both jugglers down.
That didn't last long.
Look at the throw by Fabian Reese knocking a club out there, and Yuri Marmerstein right after taking out a club over on the Angry Joe side. Schmeisner did go down first, but it's not clear how much longer the opposing team's juggler needs to remain in control.
I would think they'd be better off leaving more back protecting and more defense, less offense, what I would think.
Well, it's certainly an all or nothing approach when you have that much offense coming in up front. Oh, and here we have an angry mob scene about to get out of hand, pressuring the ref for a replay. And the call is made. That round will be replayed. Looks like Angry Joe getting a little bit of a lead in there, and he's going to get a good first shot. And that's going to do it over on the Angry Joe's side. Quick fire by Hypertrophy for a 2-0 lead after round 3. Let's take another look. 3 nearly simultaneous attacks from Jamie Stroud, Juji Mufu, and then Yuri. Pulls Bronson back on defense, knocks away 1, but can't handle that attack coming right on its heels. So the match goes to Team Hypertrophy. Angry Joes will go into the loser's bracket to meet the losing team of the next matchup between Team Mooshwalks and Team Curious Codes. Team Mooshwalks defending Josh Horton. Team Curious Codes defending Kenny Chung. Head ref Brian Went of Knockerball Las Vegas checking in on each team to make sure they're ready to start. Oh, and right away, a direct hit to Horton's face, followed by another, and Horton goes down. Team Mooshwalks unable to break through Curious Code's firewall. There's just not much you can do when your defense falls apart that way.
Yeah, they just hit him in the head with the ball. Taunting them. There's even taunting. Not just celebration, but taunting.
And you see, nope, that's it. Defenders just walking away, and Josh Horton had absolutely no chance. Team Mooshwalks not having the best defensive strategy, essentially leaving Horton as an open target. Team Curious Codes blocking all the throws that stood a chance of taking down Chung. Dodson coming in from the side. Oh, well. I'm pretty sure I would not be able to concentrate with that one coming straight to the face either. All right, round 2 now. Mooshwalks and Curious Codes. Codes with a 1-0 lead.
Kind of do the same thing every time, don't they? There's no defense, so they run over to the side there and just hit him in the face.
Well, Team Mooshwalks, a little better on defense that time, but certainly not effective, as Josh Horton was a man under attack from the word go. We'll see 2 defenders back, but my goodness. Curious Codes running the same play, and again, Horton's just destroyed, getting sandwiched by 2 balls. That is as clear of a win as you can get in Dodge, Juggle, Protect.
Oh, Josh has been a good sport about it.
And on Curious Code's side, every single throw either deflected or way off target trajectory. So just like that, in 2 straight sets, Curious Codes advances to the semifinals. We head to the loser's bracket now. Mooshwalks and Angry Joes facing off. Josh Horton again, the 5-club juggler over on the Mooshwalks side. The loser of this match will be out of the tournament. The winner will go on to meet the loser of the upcoming matchup between teams Hypertrophy and Curious Codes. Round 1 begins, and both teams equally ineffective at protecting their kings. Horton and Halstead going down almost simultaneously. Josh just doesn't even know what happened there. We're going to replay that round. So Geisy, right from the beginning, taking a club out. Geisy, after struggling earlier in 1-on-5, much more effective here. And you see the strategy changed up there for Mooshwalks. Geisy up front all by herself and 3 defenders back. They're finally listening to your advice.
They are.
All right, so a replay on that tie in round 1. Losers bracket 2nd round, Mooshwalks, Angry Joes. Josh Horton trying to make himself a much more difficult target. Oh, he's under heavy attack.
Really bad. He took every one of the 5 clubs out that time.
That should be bonus points.
Should be.
Angry Joes gets the lead here in round 2. We see Josh moving, but moving right away from his defense.
All 5 gone, down. Nothing in his hands but defeat.
Round 3 in the loser's bracket. Oh, Geisy is aggressive from the beginning. And Mooshwalks evens the score at 1 as Geisy has found her place. Here we see a determined effort by Team Mooshwalks. Nice double-handed block by Ruthie. And here's where round 3's scoring throw originated. Flies up and over Bronson's defense and connects with one of Halstead's clubs almost immediately after. Score is now 1-1 as we head into round 4. All right, round 4 begins, and almost immediately a foot fault is being called. Oh, and the competitors unhappy here. We might have some work for the officials to do.
Oh.
And a shot comes right over the top, but get a look there. Angry Joe might just have violated the center line.
Oh, yeah, quite clearly.
Now this has happened earlier in a less subtle way demonstrated by Juji, but this is the first time a team is submitting a dispute, and Team Mooshwalks, much like the product they represent, needs all the help they can get. We're now heading into round 5, score tied at 1-1. Round 5 begins and Team Mooshwalks with 4 protective guards still unable to protect Horton. Komatsubara once again launching the penetrating attack, and Horton is taken down. Right from the start, Komatsubara sees a hole on the right sideline and circumvents the 4-team defense, flying right past Geisy and lands a direct hit to one of Horton's clubs, timed perfectly with its release from his hands. And you can see on Angry Joe's side, not much protection needed. With 4 people protecting Horton, that doesn't leave much of an offensive force. In fact, at least 2 of them are holding balls and not doing anything with them. Interesting strategy that didn't quite pay off, and Team Mooshwalks paid the ultimate price. And Josh Horton, with a look of what can I possibly do on his face after that quick defeat. A man with no clubs. Team Angry Joes advances in the losers bracket to meet up with the losing team of the next matchup between Team Hypertrophy versus Team Curious Codes.
Coming up next, bottle flipping and the continuation of Team Dodge Juggle Protect after this enlightening information. The Moxie Games are brought to you by The Passing Zone, the world's most entertaining comedy and juggling duo, PassingZone.com. Moxie.games. Stream the Moxie Games and more outside-the-box sports at Moxie.games. Jason Garfield Personal Training. No nonsense, fast results, lose fat, increase strength, JasonGarfield.com. Welcome back to the Moxie Games. We'll rejoin Team Dodge Juggle Protect in just a moment. But right now, I'm in the mood for some bottle flipping.
Well, welcome to the IBS World Championship. I'm Adam Candy, and joining me once again is Master Flipper Penn Jillette.
You know, I wouldn't miss the world's first IBS World Championship, and I know millions of you out there are waiting anxiously for the start of this year's event, since our bottle flipping videos have already received over 14 million views.
Certainly a groundbreaking event. The World Bottle Flipping Syndicate's World Championship is divided into 5 categories. The categories are most flips in a minute, through the ring, most consecutive flips, vertical platform landings, and freestyle. We had 15 competitors in total, all starting with most bottle flips in a minute. The top 6 then went on to the second event, through the ring. The IBS may have underestimated the difficulty of this category, as most competitors were unable to secure a landing. Horton failed to land the bottle by his 10th attempt, but continued to try anyway for the benefit of the crowd, and on his 13th attempt, magic. So nobody qualified through the ring. The next category was most consecutive landings. Trey and Bennett, the highest scoring competitors in most consecutive landings, Blake and Axel at 1 apiece, and no score for Horton and Sayers. In the vertical platform landing category, competitors have 10 chances to flip and land their bottle atop a 1 foot by 1 foot platform at 2 different heights, 7 feet and 10 feet. Scoring starts at 10 points, and with each failed attempt, score value drops by 1 point. Trey started off the round, not giving much hope to the feasibility of this feat. But then on his 7th attempt, he gets a little closer, even closer on his 8th attempt, and then on his 9th attempt, Trey executed a successful landing. Bennett Santora makes contact several times, even landing the bottle on its side twice, but unable to get a qualifying landing. Blake Allen started off with air bottles, missing the platform completely in his first 2 attempts. Attempt 6 shows promise, slamming the bottom of the bottle on top of the platform. Attempts 7, 8, and 9 getting closer and closer, and then on his final attempt, a successful landing. Doug Sayers stepped in, clearly with a height advantage, and stuck the landing on his first attempt. Josh Horton, also with a height advantage, started off rocky, missing the platform completely at times, but managed to stick a landing on his 9th attempt. Only 1 successful landing at the 10-foot height, Josh Horton racks up the points for that, a textbook landing, and relieving the angst built up in everyone watching painfully in real time. In the IBS freestyle event, it's up to the judges to determine if your routine or move was the most difficult, innovative, and impressive. Trey started off this event and went for the one amazing move, executing an upside-down bottle flip landing. Blake Allen started his time off with a blind flip, landing that move on the 3rd attempt, but unable to land anything after his first flip. Doug Sayers started his time off with attempts at under-the-leg flips, followed by a behind-the-back flip, and then failed to flip a foot landing. Last up was Horton, who demonstrated back-of-the-hand landings, an under-the-leg flip landing, an under-the-leg flip to forehead landing, took a timeout to drink the questionably drinkable water, ending with an empty bottle forehand landing, which may not actually count since the IBS specifies a specific amount of liquid be present in the bottle. And the finals results parallel the freestyle placements, with Trey in third place, Doug Sayers in second, and Josh Horton in the lead by a full 6 points.
And just like that, history is made and the world's first bottle flipping world champion is crowned. Now let's get back to seeing him get hit in the face of some dodgeballs while trying to juggle right after this. The Moxie Games are coming back to SkillCon in Las Vegas this December. Register online at skillcon.org.
We've seen Team Mooshwalks take a dive, losing to both Curious Codes and Angry Joes despite having one of the best 5-club jugglers as their king. We all know him as Josh Horton. Team Angry Joes suffered a loss against Team Hypertrophy and ended up in the losers bracket, but defeated Team Mooshwalks to stay in the game. Now, undefeated teams Hypertrophy and Curious Codes are about to meet for the first time. The loser of this match will go up against Angry Joes to determine who will make it to the finals. Kenny Chung, the 5-club juggler for Curious Codes, Noah Schmeisner for Team Hypertrophy. All right, here we go. Round 1 of the semifinals between Team Hypertrophy and Team Curious Codes. This is a power-on-power matchup. Jeremy quickly moving to the right sideline to look for an opening, the same move that took down Horton twice, and just as successful now taking down Schmeisner.
They're good at celebrating, you know what I'm saying? They don't do the cartwheels and stuff, but they do celebrate.
Here you see Jeremy quickly moving to the right and finding a hole between Yuri and McDonald. McDonald not fast enough to block, and Schmeisner takes it right in the face and decapitating the GoPro from his head. Round 2 begins. Clark attempts a howling diversion. Right over the top of him, Jeremy comes flying in with a fastball dead center and clips one of Schmeisner's clubs out of the air. 2 unanswered points for Curious Codes sends Team Hypertrophy into the losers bracket where they'll face Team Angry Joes.
Kind of brains versus brawn here, isn't it?
Well, you can't crack a code without a plan, and it seems Team Curious Codes has figured out a way to hack Dodge Juggle, changing their gameplay immediately after the previous plan succeeded. Here we see an audio distraction from Clark. And then Dodson line drive down the center of the court and clips one of the clubs at the apex of its flight where it was unprotected. So that takes us into the losers bracket, Team Angry Joes versus Team Hypertrophy. The winner of this matchup will make it to the finals against Team Curious Codes. Angry Joes, Team Hypertrophy, losers bracket. Lots of attacks and blocks. Both teams doing an excellent job of defending, but an equally ineffective job of taking out the opposing team. Lots of defending going on the Hypertrophy side. It seems like everyone has adjusted to defending their juggler. Oh my. Team Hypertrophy there. And there's some celebration from Yuri.
Yeah,
My goodness.
pretty good.
Team Hypertrophy celebrating with a surplus of energy. So here we see the final blow, not a direct hit, but close enough to distract Halstead and change the trajectory of his throws, resulting in a collision between clubs and then a drop. Juji Mufu fired up. Round 2 begins. Angry Joes on the attack. Team Hypertrophy focusing on defending at the onset.
Notice how the game has moved to more defense.
We started out 3 on offense, 1 on defense, and we have flipped those numbers.
Yeah.
Stroud going high, clips one of Halstead's clubs, just as was done to Schmeisner, and the point in the match goes to Team Hypertrophy. It will be Team Hypertrophy in the finals against Team Curious Codes. Angry Joe slamming the ball to the ground. You can see he has been taking in that Angry Joe's cold brew in large doses. Here we see Stroud coming in, aiming high, and that's all it took. It didn't affect the club's rotation, but it knocked it inward, off the path to the hand Halstead was expecting. And so this is it, ladies and gentlemen, the Dodge Juggle Protect Finals. Team Curious Codes and Team Hypertrophy. Curious Codes in the better position, being undefeated. Team Hypertrophy will have to win 2 matches, Curious Codes only 1 match, such is the way double elimination tournaments are structured.
And we'll see that final matchup after this. The Moxie Games are brought to you by The Passing Zone, the world's most entertaining comedy and juggling duo, PassingZone.com. Moxie.games. Stream the Moxie Games and more outside-the-box sports at Moxie.games. Jason Garfield Personal Training. No nonsense, fast results, lose fat, increase strength. JasonGarfield.com.
Here we are in the finals. Kenny Chung trying to hide behind Clark, crouching lower and lower to stay protected. Schmeisner relying on Juji Mufu's non-jumping jack blocking technique.
Now they're doing defense up front there.
Chung goes down, losing control of his clubs in an unforced error, most likely juggling lower than he's used to. Remember, Team Hypertrophy is going to have to win twice here to earn the championship coming out of the loser's bracket. Kenny Chung trying to stay low, clutch on the defense. And Ryan Clark offering some resistance up front, but Chung having trouble and loses control. And just before, we see Team Hypertrophy has learned how to defend against a strategy that has previously been working so well for Jeremy of Curious Codes, blocking his move down court and failing to find a hole in defense. It was close though, just not out of McDonald's reach. Okay, so first point goes to Team Hypertrophy. Curious Codes with a comfortable lead in the overall tournament, but Team Hypertrophy quickly turning that around. Juji Mufu using a lat spread to defend the width of Schmeisner's pattern, but still needing to protect the height. Clutch doing an equally effective job protecting the width without a lat spread. The round begins, Stroud goes over Lost, aiming high again, but this time too high. Chung continuing to reduce the altitude of his juggling pattern. An attack by Yuri. Oh, direct hit to the face. Chung goes down, falling backwards and disoriented. A championship playoff, Kenny Chung is hurt, getting hit straight in the face.
Of course, that is a Rhino Super Soft Dodgeball. It's the safest ball you can use, so even though he may be hurt, it shouldn't be too bad.
Oh, you can see the hole opening up right in the middle of the defense, and Hypertrophy even surprised scoring that direct hit. From that distance, tough to get a shot like that, my goodness. And here we see the moments leading up to the point of impact. McDonald and Dibble clearly concerned, Juji Mufu taking on a different emotion. Now, Team Hypertrophy has to win one more match to take the championship title. All right, Josh Horton is going to replace Kenny here.
I think Josh Horton's a little stronger juggler.
Round one begins. Horton now replacing Chung on Team Curious Codes. Clutch taking a direct hit to the face while defending Horton. Another throw by Dibble, this one clipping the top of Horton's pattern, and he's taken down. Hypertrophy grabbing a 1-0 lead on Curious Codes. They've turned it around here.
They sure have.
Here's that face block by Clutch, but unable to follow up and block the next throw by Yuri. That throw lands on Horton, but Horton stays in it. Dibble comes in down the back sideline, finds a hole. Jeremy quickly tries to close that hole, but overruns it, and Dibble lands an unrecoverable attack. Team Hypertrophy is 1 point away from taking home the championship title. If they win this round, it will be all over. Round two begins. Juji Mufu takes a blow to the sternum, defending Schmeisner. Horton decreasing altitude. Shot in on the side. Horton goes down. They're all down, and Hypertrophy gets the victory. They win 4 rounds in a row. So here you see Dibble notices a gap in the defense along the front sideline, makes a dash to reposition, and then without pause launches his attack, landing on Horton's leg, rebounding into his forearm, perfectly timed with the throw coming out of the same hand. And Horton visibly disenchanted from the lack of protection he's received today.
We sportsed really hard, but they sportsed harder than we did, so next time we need to sports a little harder.
Nevertheless, here is your Moxie Games Dodge Juggle Protect champions. Juji Mufu, Scott McDonald, Jamie Stroud, Yuri Marmerstein, Sean Dibble, and Noah Schmeisner.
This makes me nervous. I don't mind the little guy getting blasted in the face with a dodgeball, but don't pick up anything you can't eat. Let's hope that's not what this is.
Might end up being one of the enduring images from Moxie Games.
From SkillCon in Las Vegas, Nevada, this has been the 2016 Dodge Juggle Championship, a Moxie Games original event. I'm John Wee.
And I'm Owen Morse.
We are the Passing Zone, and we thank you for watching. Good night.
Good night.
And thus begins the quest of all these unique competitors to dominate at the Moxie Games. We've seen Sniper Schorsch win Game 1 of the semifinals against Beer Vampire, take the advantage of table corners and a temerarious disregard for head safety. Delaney Bayless maintained her lead in the WJF Advanced Overall Championship. Tom Rossman and Stefano Palinga tied at 5 points each with another 5 points to go. 8 highly skilled rock, paper, scissors competitors were reduced to 4. Team White Dragons left Surreal Killers with a 5-point deficit and only 7 more points to win the set. And the Moxie Games original event, Dodge Juggle, made its international debut. I'm Penn Gillette, along with all the Moxie Games event organizers, hosts, and commentators. We thank you for watching. This has been a Moxie Games production, the worldwide leader in this type of stuff.
Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, thank you for watching this entire video. It was a lot of fun, and we've done other competitions. This is 2018. We've done more of this stuff, so if you want to see more on my channel, let me know in the comments. But you can also check out Moxie Games, SkillCon, and World Juggling Federation for more videos. Subscribe to me if you haven't yet, because I'm posting awesome videos all the time. We'll see you guys later. Bye. Bye.